Previously on The Lead Attorney.
To counsel, because they're here, and I'm not going to.
Do you have an attorney that's here for you, sir?
It was at this moment that he knew he messed up.
Sure. Ashley Merchant is here. She's
Oh! Ashley Merchant is
Let us bring up an excellent, high value man, righteous brother, excellent content creator in his own right. Let's bring up dear woke Christian. God damn.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Good to see y'all.
Good to see you too. He is down here with us in Atlanta.
Down here in the ATL.
Drop the link to his channel in the chat. Just real quick, tell us about your channel, what you got going on YouTube, and then tell us your appraisal of this situation here.
So yeah, my name is Jason from Dear Woke Christian. I give social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective, and usually follow after Lead or others looking at some of the cases, particularly what's going on here in Atlanta, and just gives a different perspective on it. Just give my 2 cents, as I call myself a pre-K law student. I know nothing, so I'm just kind of glean from y'all. But I'm sorry, this case right here has got to be, somebody said like Gresham couldn't have written this. I'm sorry, this case is, if nothing else, I don't even care who goes to jail. It is comedy of the highest order. I mean, from last week, the guy talking about, I'm grown. Well, how old is grown? What was Little Woody? Little Woody,
yeah.
That guy was the best last week. But then he came in this week, seemed like he was on point. And lo and behold, the wheels on the bus fall completely off. And if I'm not mistaken, Lead and AV, how many attorneys and legal professionals have been arrested in this case? It's been like at least 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
This is great.
Yes.
It's been quite a bit. This story has just been bananas. And to know that it's right here in Atlanta, it's tied to Fonnie Willis in a loose type of sense. It does not make us look good at all. 2024 has been savage, and it has not been kind to Atlanta at all. So when I say Atlanta must be stopped, I mean it's got to be stopped, man. It's got to. So
I really want to point out what you said and what AV said as well, guys. It was so weird to see Ashley Merchant walk.
Oh my gosh!
Courtroom.
Who had that on their bingo board? Who had that? Like Ashley marches in here, and Ashley, she brought some noise. Like I was like, wow, she was not playing games.
Yeah, it was such a, to close the circle, because this whole Fanny situation.
Yes.
Ashley Merchant, fighting against the prosecution, but that's really not the case. The prosecution kept their mouth closed the whole time. She was fighting against the judge. Right?
And she didn't back down. I think she learned her lesson from the last time Fanny was like, that was cute. And teaching,
that was a different,
I think Ashley learned, because this time she was like, okay, Judge Glanville, you're going to get a little snappy, but I'm going to stand on my square and I'm going to explain this to you.
She put some shea butter in that Pantene.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yes. I mean, thank you. That's a good point. That was a different Ashley than we saw last time we saw her. No, at the Georgia Senate hearing, she was pretty clear with Harold Jones. But this was a different Ashley. I agree with you 100%. She put some shea moisture in that joint, in that Pantene. Yeah. She came.
Yes, and again, she is the president of GACTO. Really, just
what is that again? What does that stand for again?
Like the Georgia Criminal Defense Association, something, Lawyers Association, GACTO. Yeah, I'd have to write it out, but it's an association, it's a group, it's an organization of criminal defense attorneys here in the state, no matter the county, no matter the city. Okay. And if you are representing defendants in a criminal capacity, you can join that. And they have web servers, and they have email lists, and you can call up. Hey, I've got this defendant. He's charged with 25. They're trying to get 25 years from him. He's charged with this amount of cocaine. Is there anything that I could do? And they'll have senior attorneys that talk to junior attorneys to help them with their cases. All of
crazy.
these attorneys are like form this one bond to try to break the prosecution, right? Because these prosecutors, you see how they are.
They ain't playing no games.
Meeting with the judges in secret.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you think it was?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
I mean, because he has notes. So clearly somebody, this is not just like somebody mentioned it while you're in the restroom. Like no, he's got like notes. So somebody's told him.
When it says
verbatim notes.
Yes.
Yeah, when he says Dear World Christian is talking about Brian Steele.
I'm sorry. Yes, Brian Steele.
And Brian Steele had exact words, exact verbiage that were used in conversations.
And Judge Glanville was looking a little like, his face did not look like, he's like, oh wait, we really did say that. So it was definitely not a fleeting moment. Like because
Glanville, just like GP Law said, Judge Glanville never came out and said, yes, we are having secret meetings.
Right.
But what he did though, in a sense, because he said, well, he was basically like, well, you know too many specifics.
It just seems dirty. I'm sorry.
It shouldn't be the case that there is conversations that happen between a judge and only one party. Typically, both parties need to be in the conversation. But normally in cases, if it's about something small, you can talk to the judge, like if it's a court date or you want to set something down for a hearing. But if it's something big about the testimony of a witness and
that's crazy,
getting immunity, no, the other side has to be there. Because guys, we really need to think. Guys, let me tell you something. So many times it seems like it's the prosecution against the defense against the prosecution.
Okay.
Legally, it's not that way. Legally, if I represent Young Thug, I should be trying to get him off no matter what, no matter if he's guilty or innocent. So I'm trying to crush the prosecution.
Yes.
But the prosecution should never be trying to beat me, ever. The prosecution legally should only be trying to seek justice. And if the prosecution finds out one piece of evidence that exonerates my guy, they should drop the case immediately.
They have to.
In this world that we're in, because I've heard you say that before, Lead, I've heard AV say it, and it's hard to wrap our minds around because we're always thinking good versus bad. The Hatfields versus the McCoys. But you're saying like, no, it is hard for us to wrap our minds around that. Like, it's not one versus the other. It is just justice, which and I don't think most of us can figure that out.
Right, because that's not the way it typically is in practice. It's just like what Fanny said up in Big Bethel. We have a 95% conviction rate or something like that.
Yeah.
Why are you bragging about your conviction rate if you're trying to seek justice?
Correct.
Right. So many times the prosecutors are trying to beat us. They are trying to beat criminal defense attorneys. Even if they don't have a case, even if their case is weak, they are trying to beat us. They're trying to overcharge our clients. Maybe that client should go to jail for 2 years, but they're threatening them with 10 years or 12 years, right? It happens all the time, and it's so underhanded. But they're humans. That's the thing. If you could program like an AI robot, the AI would be like, oh, okay, I'll drop this case. AI would be dropping cases all the time.
Right.
Not humans. Humans want to win. Right.
That's true. So
it does turn into a us versus them mentality.
So I noticed like there were tons of motions for mistrial that he was just shooting them down, swatting like mosquitoes at a picnic. Mm-hmm. So is that pretty much normal? I'm not going to.
That's normal. Because defense counsel, they'll ask for mistrials all the time. If the judge is wrong, mistrial,
There it is.
Legs, mistrial. So that happens a lot. So judges are used to just whatever with these mistrials. That is true.
No, I was going to say, I would love to know, like, how did he find that out? But I think it definitely showed just how underhanded. And it does kind of works against the way that you depicted it, Lead and AV, that it's not, right versus left or Hatfields versus McCoys, but, seeking justice. But when the judge is working with the prosecution, it does make that's why Steele is so passionate. That's why Steele is constantly yelling at the judge. How many other times has he done this to him? So I can kind of understand it, but it is hard to wrap your mind around. Like, they're not seeking to win, but rather for justice to prevail. which is hard to
And it's
understand.
just a bad look. To your original point, it's a bad look for Fulton County because this, I guarantee you, by the end of today, just with having a PR background too, this is going to be all over national media.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes.
this case has had issues where, people were calling the judge. Like he had to give his phone away because I think it was like the paperwork party or another YouTube channel. There was like people spamming the judge's phone while this trial was being live streamed. There was another time there was like, inappropriate. I don't know if I can say it.
Just to clarify, I don't think AV is saying it was the paperwork party that was spamming the judge's phone. I think somebody called the judge's phone while the judge was in the middle of trial.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I don't think AV is saying that the paperwork party did that, but yes, somebody did call the judge's phone in the middle of trial. How they got the judge's phone number, who knows? Probably the same reason why half of y'all got my phone number. All right, y'all are some sleuths, boy. Y'all are some internet sleuths. But yeah, go ahead, AV. I just want to clear that up.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. And again, I think it's like that's something that we saw happen nationally. And then there was also like a day in court where, pornographic material was shown on one of the screens, so that was like from the beginning, we've been seeing all types of wild stuff happen with this case.
How long has it been?
Opening arguments were in and around Thanksgiving.
And
okay. So it has been that long. Okay.
It's probably been like a year and a half. When jury selection started, voir dire, who knows? Man.
Like you and I started covering this in 22.
Wow. Yeah, this is the
Wait, did you say 22?
Yeah. Lead and I remember this stream from December of 22, and that's when we were looking at jury selection. And then we were waiting for the trial to begin. It actually began in December of 23. So we're still, even being local in Fulton County, this case has been plaguing, for many years. Okay,
let me just ask this: if it goes to mistrial, let's say by Glanville just comes in and just accepts the mistrial, what happened? It goes back to zero?
Straight back to zero.
Stop playing.
Straight back to zero.
Not even 3, but 0.
No, 0. Straight back. And knowing Fanny, she'll crank this up again.
Rico! You get Rico.
Oh my gosh, no way.
She will crank it right back up. This has been the longest, most expensive trial that we've ever had in our history.
And it's not even done yet. So we're not even
close.
Yeah.
We got hundreds of more witnesses. So let me ask you to wrap up, dear bro Christian. Who do you think won in this situation? Do you think it was Judge Glanville? Do you think it was Brian Steele? Who do you think is the winner out of all this?
I'm sorry. In my again, pre-K law school expertise, Steele demonstrated that, again, I'll go to jail for you. I'm in here with and people again still look at it as one side versus the other side. So they're like, this guy is serious. Like he means business. He is so passionate. He took his tie off and took his shoelaces out, his belt off. He means business. He's ready to go to jail for his client. Cause, the other day he was declaring like my client is innocent and I'm just here. I think it was Friday. And he was or Thursday when he was expressing again, more passion toward Glanville. I think he won that thing. And I don't think it's odd that the prosecution said absolutely nothing during all of this chicanery. They were totally quiet. Yeah. I'm like, are their mics muted? Like, what's going on?
They were in those secret meetings too.
They were sitting there like, we can't say nothing.
Exactly. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For coming up. You can come up anytime, brother.
Anytime. Thank you so much, friends.
Yes, sir.
Grace and peace. Take care. Bye now.
If one of the mods could drop my brother's channel in the chat.
Hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.